All right, fabulous. So good morning or good afternoon, everybody. My name is Andy Humphris, and I'm the Vice Principal Academic here at Abbey College, Cambridge. And today what I'd like to do is talk you all through a student journey, a timeline of life at Abbey College, Cambridge, and along the way, try and increase awareness and understanding of our wonderful college and what we offer whilst you are here or whilst your students are here. The general idea is that we'll begin with a brief overview of the college, what we are, what we're about, and what we achieve. And then we will look through our student journey at how we fulfill our mission as seen from the perspective of a student. At Abbey College, Cambridge, what we believe is that we are the pathway to elite universities. It is our mission to ensure that our students make incredible progress in their learning and move on to some of the world's best universities. And that progress is one of the things that we are the most proud of here at Abbey College, Cambridge. We are not a selective school, which means that we are a recruiting school. We will bring in students of all abilities from all over the world with various levels of current or past achievement. And from that mix of students, we will apply our magic and we will work hard, and the students will work hard to transform themselves, their understanding, and to make incredible progress to the extent to which we are ranked in the top 10 in the UK for student progress. And a lot of that progress is supported, hugely supported, by our extracurricular clubs, by the things that take place outside of the classroom. We have more than 400 students from more than 50 countries. And in order to meet all of those needs, we run over 50 different extracurricular clubs and sporting activities every week. And there is an incredible range of things on offer, from traditional sporting events like basketball, football, table tennis, badminton, and our badminton teams compete in Cambridge College Leagues, in the BUSA Leagues. So they compete at an incredibly high level against current Cambridge College students. To more diverse activities like gliding. So we have all kinds of different activities, and we feel that this really helps our students prepare for life at university by engaging in their passions. We also have a range of unique programs that run here. There's 4 listed on the screen right now: the pre-degree diploma, Abbey Inspires, and our Oxbridge and medic preparation programs. And we're going to talk about each of those in a bit more detail in a little while. And now on screen, we've got a quick snapshot of last year's results. And this really is the product of all of the previous work, of all of those different systems, and our students engaging in our community and feeling safe to push themselves as a result. And we can clearly see the fruit of the labor on the previous slide here today, where last year we had 74% of students achieving A stars to A in their A-level results, an absolutely phenomenal figure, alongside 78% of our students at GCSE achieving 9 to 6. And our own unique international foundation programs for medics, engineers, management students, and students wishing to push on to things like PPE at university. We have a 77% overall average in our foundation programs. Absolutely fantastic results that get our students moving on to the wonderful destinations that they do. And you can see those destinations on screen now. You can see that the overwhelming majority of our students move on to Russell Group or top 20 universities, and that incredibly 1 in 4 students moves on to a G5 university. That's the top 5 universities in the UK, including Oxbridge, so Oxford and Cambridge, Imperial College London, University College London, and the LSE, the London School of Economics. So really, really fabulous destinations for our students. And our International Foundation Programme students move on to an equally impressive set of destinations, including a really well-developed biomedical pathway, which had last year alone 8 medical enrolments, and last year across the college we had 18 medical enrolments, and this year, as of right this minute, we have 19, with interviews coming up for one university in about 3 weeks' time, which will push us over 20 medic offers for the first time ever. So some absolutely phenomenal destinations there. And of course, this is the real reason why many students come to join us, because their education is a journey, and it is a journey on to the next level. And the next level is, of course, universities. And last year, you can see that a wide variety of our students pushed onto a wide variety of university places, from King's College London for political economy, to management at the London School of Economics, to veterinary medicine at University of Edinburgh, to University of Central Lancashire for medicine, multiple students going there, or to chemistry at Imperial College. These are some absolutely wonderful destinations for just a sample of students that could be your students or could be you in the very near future. And we're very transparent here at Abbey College, Cambridge. You can see on the left there in that little grid, you can see that our A-level results for the last 11 years. We're not a college that's trying to just sell you on our last year's set of results. We're very open about this. Our results are consistently phenomenal. And we hope you agree, and we hope to see more of your students at Abbey College in the future. In particular, we're very proud of our Oxbridge destinations, because consistently, year after year after year, we send students to Oxbridge. And it allows me to stand here today, this long list on the right-hand side allows me to stand here today and put my hand on my heart and tell you that we really are excellent at getting students into Oxbridge, and consistent. But it's important that you don't just take my word for it. So here I have a short video, just a minute, of Augustin. Augustin is our most recent student to move on to Cambridge University. And he's currently studying natural sciences at St. Catherine's College in the University of Cambridge. So let's just hear very briefly from Augustin. I'll just turn the volume up on that a little.
Hello, I'm Augustin, and I'm studying natural sciences at Cambridge University, St. Catherine's College. And I think Abbey College, Cambridge prepared me very well for my tertiary studies at one of the top universities in the world. First of all, being a member of an international community for 2 years taught me a lot about foreign cultures and how to approach people that are not the same nationality as I am. And I can assert that now that I'm a member of a group of adults, it really is much more enjoyable to talk to people who are, again, not from the same country as I am, or different. When it comes to academics, I really have to thank my teachers for all of the advice they gave me. Of course, they prepared me excellently well for A-level curricula, and I have to use that knowledge as the basics of my studies right now. But they also taught me soft skills like time management and being organized, which I think does give me the edge over other students when it comes to studies and examinations. Finally, being in Cambridge taught me how the city is organized and how the university runs without being there. And so when I started my studies, I already knew what to do and how to do it, which made the whole process of starting much more efficient.
There we go. Thank you very much, Augustin. I actually spoke to Augustin last on Monday of this week. We were privileged to have a number of our alumni. So these are ex-Abbey College, Cambridge students who've moved on into university life. And we had 14 students come and join us at the start of the week, many of whom were current Oxbridge students, and all of whom were current G5 university students, come back to talk to our year 12s. So that might be students who are coming towards the end of their first year of A-level study with us. It could be your students or you in 1 year's time. They came back and they imparted some of their wisdom about the university application process. And Augustin is going to do one better than that. And actually, he's going to come back and offer a unique course to students at Abbey College, Cambridge, in his spare time. So we're going to have a live University of Cambridge student delivering lessons to our students. And his mission is to give something back to the Abbey College community. And it really is a powerful testament to the community that we create here, where our students want to come back, and not only want to come back for one-off events, like our alumni event on Monday, but want to come back on a weekly basis and give something to our students. He's going to do something very exciting. He's going to teach many of our current medic, biomedic and chemistry students, as well as mathematics students and computer scientists, how to use a particular technology called LaTeX. And LaTeX is something that is used at university level and by professionals in the field to write reports. And this will make life at university for these students a lot easier. So we're not just looking here to get you into university. Our role at Abbey College, Cambridge is not just to get you there, but it's to ensure that you thrive and grow when you are there. Okay, that's the first half of the talk done. And we move now on to the second half of the talk, which is the student journey. And this is a bit more of an exciting talk about how we fulfill our mission and what we do to help students like you, like your students, or like Augustin, get to Cambridge. So the first challenge that our students need to conquer is actually arriving in the first place. So this begins with the admissions interview. And the admissions interview is the very first interaction, really, directly between Abbey College, Cambridge staff. So you might be interviewed by either myself or Mike Corbett, our Director of Operations, or possibly our Principal, Dr. Julian Davis. And the idea here is that students can get an idea of what we are about, of what we offer, to explore their subject choices and to explore the extracurricular offerings that we have available that they may wish to engage in, as well as to get a sense of our friendly but challenging ethos. And this onboarding process continues after interview and after paperwork is taken place when we host webinars. These webinars are typically hosted by the senior leadership team, exactly as we're doing today, right now, designed to mirror what we're doing and to familiarize new students with the college. After this presentation is complete, we'll be sharing this presentation with you, and you'll see embedded here in the left-hand corner, you'll see a sample 45-minute webinar that you can work your way through. If you're a member of the sales team or an agent, this is very useful for helping you to familiarize yourself with the detail and depth of what we do here at Abbey. And if you're a student watching this video, hello, and please do feel free to check out this video because it really does help you understand what we offer. What we also offer to students before they arrive is what we call the Beyond the Curriculum reading list. Beyond the Curriculum is a list of really exciting and interesting books and other media, including TED Talks and YouTube, that you might want to get engaged with whilst you wait to arrive at Abbey College in September. And this is a very powerful thing because, again, we want you to have ownership of your learning, but we want you to go beyond the textbook. Other colleges send out a reading list of textbooks. We do that too, but we also provide stimulating and engaging materials for you to look at, because we don't just expect you to engage with the learning in the classroom. We have high expectations. And we expect you to engage in material outside the classroom as well. Once you actually arrive in Abbey College, Cambridge, the first thing that you will do is receive a boarding induction. And this boarding induction will take place with your link staff member called a huddle leader. Your huddle leader will look after the student as a parent would in boarding, and the community belonging starts to be built here. All students at Abbey College, Cambridge belong to a huddle. And this is a small group of students that actually mirrors the tutor group. So it's the same students in the boarding school as it is for the day school. So when you go to college in the morning and you attend tutor group, it will be with the same students that are in your huddle in boarding. And this is very powerful because this helps us to create a tribe, a clique, if you like, within a house and within the wider college community. And it really does help students recover rapidly from the significant culture shock that we do expect and we do experience students experiencing when they first arrive. And there's a considerable amount of homesickness and possibly depression as well from arriving in a new country with a new language and a new smell and sound and look. And this can be very, very challenging. And it's our job to build a new community for you, to build a new community where students can take risks and inside those communities grow and really hit the peak of what they can do. Speaking of the peak of what they can do, within the first week of arriving in the college, we will conduct academic testing. So we will conduct what we call baseline testing, and we will use nationally standardized data, a CAT4, it's a cognitive aptitude test at an appropriate level for our students so that we can understand the learning needs of the student and the current levels of the student. Our students join us, as we've already said, from over 50 different countries in the world. So it's very important that we have a good insight into how they learn, how they think, and what they know straight away. As the term progresses, we will really begin to get involved in the business of learning. Our students will really start to engage in their digital education, and this is part of the innovative approach that we take here at Abbey College, Cambridge, something that we have retained, what we call a COVID keeper from our experiences of remote learning over the last couple of years. We've really lent heavily into the Microsoft suite of programs to provide digital education. So we still make strong use of Microsoft Teams, a platform not unlike Zoom here that we're using today. But we've also lent very heavily into their OneNote package. And Microsoft OneNote is an absolutely wonderful package that allows us to eliminate the need for paper, creating a highly sustainable education. But it also allows us to create a highly organized and efficient education. And if we had more time, perhaps for the future we'll do so. We'll create a video on how we use Microsoft OneNote for you guys. But for now, we'll leave it as that is. What else we do in this first term is really continue that pastoral care and work and developing communities. So our students will meet with and engage with their personal tutors and housemasters on a weekly basis, one-to-one, so that they really are able to communicate how they're feeling, what they're learning, and what challenges they're experiencing, so that we know how best to support and move students past any culture shock and any challenges that they are experiencing. But of course, throughout term one, the big work is new systems, Microsoft OneNote, Teams, etc., as I've just talked about. Talking through subject choices, our students will have a very limited window of a couple of weeks, just 2 weeks at the start of the year, where they may wish to change their subject choices, having survived contact with psychology or economics or further maths, perhaps for the first time. and they may have discovered that actually it's not the subject for them. So we have a very limited window during which students can transfer to a slightly different subject choice, depending, of course, on availability. Some of our courses are incredibly popular. For example, computer science is already sold out and is an incredibly popular choice for our students. And we also begin to work on your love of learning, on the students' love of learning, by offering the first of our systems that we're coming in to talk about. Is the Abbey Inspires system. And this is another platform for us to deliver part of our vision. Our vision statement here at Abbey College, Cambridge, is to be a community energized by a love of learning and the outstanding achievement for all. And we really hope to foster a love of learning through our Abbey Inspires systems. So our Abbey Inspires systems start in the 3rd week of the term, and they run every evening all the way until the end of the year. And what this program is a series of unique evening lectures, practical activities, and classes that take place and that are offered by all of our teaching staff. In the images here, you can see on the right-hand side, Marie O'Keefe, one of our economics teachers, delivering a talk on her favorite topic, which is the global financial crisis of 2008 to 2013. And this, as you can see, is a highly popular talk. And every year, this particular talk attracts around 50 to 60 students who will listen and engage in what we call super curricular knowledge. This is not knowledge that our students need for their A-level. We do that in the classroom. What this is knowledge that will help develop that love of learning and that will be engaged in because Abbey College, Cambridge students genuinely love to learn. This is our expectation. And this is the culture that we create when our students are here. And what we find is that our students attend these sessions on a regular basis, all the way throughout their time with us, and they cover a broad range of exciting and interesting things covered by selected guests from the academic and business world or by our teachers. And they really do foster a sense of inquiry. Some recent events from the last half term, despite the fact that we're in an exam season right now, and that's just finished, but it's still been a very busy time for our students, but they're still looking to push their understanding. We can see here a question of unlocking the key to the universe in the physics session for quasars. We can see what role students might wish to play in the 1588 history session, the Armada. And this is very exciting stuff here, where we talk about STEM dissections. Really good fun, always very well engaged with by our students. Abbey College students love to cut up rats and hearts, apparently, but maybe that's not for you. As the term progresses, we really get into the science of learning. And one of the key things that we need our students to do is understand how they can improve their own learning. And we do that by teaching our students critical thinking skills. But we also do this through broadening their horizons about the cognitive science of education and what revision techniques actually work. In the image set in the screen here, Memory the Good, in the bottom left-hand side, where we see something called retrieval practice. And this is fairly obvious to all of us, that actually practicing questions is a very, very good way of revising. But believe it or not, some students don't want to engage in it, despite its incredibly powerful impact on learning. So we try and educate and steer our students towards this, as well as the concept behind the calendar image, known as interleaving. And interleaving is where we will put different alternating subjects back to back in revision technique in revision sessions, so that students get a broad range of topics covered and come back to the same topic after a period of time, allowing them to forget and working their brain out like you were in a gym, working their brain and practicing strengthening the recall required to bring knowledge back to life, back to the forefront of the brain. This is very, very powerful because it reduces the cognitive loading on our students in examinations, because the pathways that they create are very strong. And of course, we need to test our students. So at the end of term one, our students will engage in formative assessments. And these really do help us to understand the level of progress that our students are making in their various subjects and how we can best support them going into the next term. And the test results really do help us understand one of the very important measures that we offer here called progression. Now in term two, we do also add into the mix multiple other programs. The pre-degree diploma, shortened there to PDD, and our Oxbridge and medic preparation programs, they kick on as well. But again, I just want to highlight, using the image on the left there, I'd like to highlight our pastoral and community building. It's very important for us that our students work as teams, that they engage in healthy inter-house competition. And this teaches students really valuable lessons about loss, about team spirit, and about teamwork. And these things are incredibly important for their wider education, taking them into university and into life. Now, I've mentioned now that by term two, we have all 4 of our major academic programs running. So let's take some time understanding how each of these contributes to student development. And once we've covered the 4 of these, we'll be at the end of our talk and there'll be an opportunity for some questions. So this term progression, what is it at Abbey College and what does it mean? Well, progression really is all about helping our students find the right path. We will rigorously review the academic achievement and the rate of progress as measured by the test results against that baseline testing that we talked about earlier of every single student at Abbey College, Cambridge. And through this, we can determine appropriate subject support or interventions. We can possibly reduce or broaden student programs and ensure that parents and agents are well informed about that through our reporting processes. Now, some of the support that we have available to our students is quite impressive. And what I've tried to include here, I can't include all of it, of course, but I've included a sample on the right-hand side of what happens in our business studies department. You will see across the top that there are a range of different measures on offer to our students. And in the business department, you will see that we have one-to-one lessons between our students and our teachers. We also have small group tutorials, very much like what a student would receive at Oxbridge. And the ever-effective peer mentoring. So you'll see that some students take the role of a peer mentor and some students are mentees. And the role of a peer mentor is usually taken by an older student who is excelling in his or her course. And they will support a student who is perhaps on a B or C grade in a younger year, for example, in the first year of A-level. And they will really try to support them. And it's great for both parties because the mentor gets to exercise their recall of previous year's knowledge and the mentee receives guidance from a respected peer. We also have a range of other programs available. For example, the self-marking individualized homeworks that are set using the software platform called Seneca. And you can see that that's very widely applied. But the beauty is that each line on this Excel sheet, each line represents a different student, of course, anonymized for GDPR reasons. But these Seneca homeworks are personalized, and the platform learns what you know. It's a great example of computer and machine learning. And it understands what you know as a student and what you don't know. And it's able, therefore, to tailor the questions that it provides to best meet your needs. And this just gives you a flavor, nothing more. This just gives you a flavor of the depth of support offering that we have at ACC, and how we very clearly consider all students to have need of individualized strategies in order to improve. Not every student needs the same thing in order to make progress. So we need to ensure that we provide a different range for them. Moving on now to further personalizing the learning of every student. We have our second measure here of 4 to talk through, the pre-degree diploma. Now, all Year 12 students engage in and choose their own pre-degree diploma program. And these range from economics to computer science, from medicine to architecture. And students are able to select pathways which will lead them to the university choice that they are likely to be making. And each program runs for 6 months, starting in January of Year 12. And it runs until the summer, where it culminates in a fantastic Year 12 conference. We had our final Year 12 conference just yesterday, and we had our students in the final presenting incredible ideas. Again, none of which are part of the curriculum, none of which are covered by the textbooks. This is all super curricular. This is above and beyond what you need for your A-levels. But what we offer this for is competitiveness. We offer this so that you will, as a student, or your students will, stand out from other applicants, that they will be able to talk intelligently at very competitive university interviews, so that they can show their value, so that students can show the depth of their understanding and their passion for their subject. And this is a very powerful thing, very powerful. The outcomes for the pre-degree diploma, as well as being able to demonstrate that passion, is also that through weekly reading and assignments set by tutors, they will also be able to write creative and highly engaging personal statements. If you're not familiar with what a personal statement is, it is an essay of application that goes alongside the university application process. And it is an incredibly important piece of information which accounts for almost as much weight, especially at Oxbridge, accounts for almost as much weight as the actual grades themselves. What is weighed more heavily by Oxbridge, Oxford and Cambridge, is the interview itself. The pre-degree diploma is essential to Oxbridge success, because just like the image of the library here, we're encouraging wide reading, reading that's not in the textbook, to give knowledge that's not in the textbook, to be able to show passion and understanding for subjects that a university admissions tutor will sit and think, yes, I want this student in my class. I want this student in my tutorial, because I will find talking to this student to be engaging and interesting. We feel this program does an incredible amount for that process, but we also provide more. So where every student will engage in the PDD, the pre-degree diploma, a select number of students will win a place on our exclusive Oxbridge candidate program. Also starting in the January of term 2, students will progress through a challenging selection process to be one of 20 students that win a place on this program. In return, the students will gain an incredible amount. They will undertake 4 different programs starting with what we call knowledge building. Knowledge building supports the work of the pre-degree diploma, but goes into even greater depth, holding students to account to ensure that they've read and understood the key themes of really important reading list books, depending on what university program, undergraduate course, that they wish to pursue. Moving on from that, and taking place right now for our students, despite the fact that their year has finished, it's time to work on admissions testing. Coming up in October, November, the students will have to take part in highly competitive, very challenging admissions testing. So our students will receive a series of practice tests. They will receive 8 different practice tests held under test conditions, and in between those practice sessions will receive one-to-one and small group tutorial coaching sessions, performance coaching, all the way throughout the summer as to how they can make progress in their admissions tests. Once we get to around about September, the exact same process will start for interview work, and students will move through a series of panel and individual interviews where they will again receive performance coaching on how they can improve their interview technique, how they can come across better, how they can show their value and show their incredible knowledge and passion at an interview. We'll also talk through the challenging question of college selection. For many of our students, they don't really understand the finesse or the detail of college selection, or whether it is actually best to select a college or not. And this is a conversation that will be had through our leading education partners. Leading Education is a carefully chosen partnership. They're an external organization that we use to add additional capacity to what we already offer. All students at Abbey that are wishing to apply to Oxbridge will receive knowledge building, admissions testing, and interviews, but Leading Education are able to add additional sessions for those 20 students that win a place on the Oxbridge candidate program. It's a very powerful program, and it's adding a lot of value to students right now who will be making their applications in October. But why listen to me? Let's have a little listen to these chaps. Okay, this is supposed to be an embedded video, guys, but it does not appear to be working. What we'll do is we will, after the seminar, we will make sure that we share this video along with all the other materials so that you can have a little listen to the Oxbridge candidate program in the words of the founders, Kieran and Liam Hammond, both ex-Oxbridge students themselves. In fact, between them, I think they hold about 5 different degrees from Oxbridge. Okay, so our final program to talk through, a unique program that we offer here at Abbey College, Cambridge, is our medicine preparation program. I've talked already about the fantastic numbers of students that are getting medic offers, and that's set against an incredibly competitive environment. Only 1 in 6 UK students this academic year is receiving offers, are receiving offers for medicine and winning places for medicine. This year is incredibly competitive, and this year, thanks to this program, it is our most successful year ever. We are going in the exact opposite direction of the national trend in the UK. It is getting harder in the UK to get into medicine. Well, at Abbey College, Cambridge, it is getting easier to get into medicine, thanks to this unique and innovative program. So what happens in this program is that we will identify very early in a student's career with us in September, when we interview and induct students. In October, anyone that's studying maths, biology, and chemistry, and has told us that they wish to be a medic, will meet with our head of medicine, for a day, and they will begin their process of identifying what kind of medicine are they interested in, what is driving them towards medicine, etc. And then in January, so just 4 months after joining the college, our students will reduce their subject range so that they will only study maths, biology, and chemistry. And additional to that, we will provide 7 hours, taught hours per week, from the January of year 12 all the way through into the year 13. And during this time, they will have an incredible program of admissions testing, interview work, extended reading, and extended teaching as well. Again, super curricular, not required for the A-level. This is material that surrounds the A-level, enriches the A-level, and really develops that love of learning in our students. And that's it. It's a great program that adds incredible value to our medics. They will also participate in mandatory medic clubs, the medic PDD. They will have medicine-focused Abbey Inspires sessions. And this is really, really shaking up the world of medicine here at Abbey College, Cambridge. We're incredibly proud of this program, and it's incredibly effective. Of course, it doesn't help you if you're not interested in medicine. When we come towards the end of the year, in term 3, there's still a great deal of work to do. In the final term of the year, there are 2 major assessments. Exactly halfway through the year, we'll run our mock examinations. And at the very end of the year, our students will sit end of year examinations. The clue is in the title there. And this gives us that incredible amount of data, 3 clear data points throughout the year, as well as homework assessment, as well as teacher appraisal, as well as smaller intermediate testing that we call topic testing. It takes place all the way throughout the year. Will be supported by 3 major assessments: our end of term, our mock, and end of year examinations. And this leads us to our final progression conference of the year. And this is slightly different because in this session, we may have promotions for students. Our pre-sessional students may graduate and move on from their language program, or we may have sideways movement from a level 3 A-level course to a level 3 foundation course, depending on what nature of assessment best suits our students. And the aim of both programs, whether it's the A-level for year 13 or the IFP for year 13, the foundation program, the aim of both is for students to graduate and move on to world-class universities. And they both achieve that mission incredibly well, as we saw from one of the early slides, in a slightly different way. The second thing that we will do differently at the end of the year is that we run a 2-week UCAS fair. This is where students get their undergraduate applications done. So during a 2-week process, the entire college transforms from a teaching and assessment center to a university clearinghouse, where we spend 2 weeks with every single student in year 12 completing the university application process. They will work one-to-one with what we call a UCAS advisor, which is a specialist member of our team, our teaching team, who will work with 3 to 4 students only and build a competitive university application in a rather intense but very effective finish to the year. Whew. But all of that is intense. All of that is challenging for our students. And we believe that it would be impossible for our students to achieve all of this incredible stuff without the work of our pastoral and boarding teams, building those communities and those communities and those tribes from within which our students feel safe to take academic risks and push themselves outside of their comfort zones and grow, because that is where we grow. And we will support our students to do just what the child is doing in the picture. Look up at the really challenging journey and just put one step in front of the other. One step at a time, we will get to the final process. Thank you very much, folks. It's a long talk at 45 minutes, and I've really appreciated that the number of participants has not yet decreased. That's really good. You've not left. So thank you very much for listening to me for the last 45 minutes. And does anybody have any questions that I can help you with?
Silence on the question front. Andrew, thank you very much indeed. That was a very detailed presentation. There's a lot of information in there. So I think a lot of people are probably just digesting everything that they've heard. So I was just asked about having a copy of the slides. Yes. Absolutely. Yes, we can certainly make sure that the slides are available to you. That's not a problem at all. And we did have one question earlier from Laura about European progression to Oxbridge, which I'm not sure. I personally don't have those stats to hand, and I'll have to email her afterwards. Again, Andy, I'm not sure if it's something that we'll follow up with afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Augustine is Italian. Our current offer holders are European for this year, and we're hopeful that coming up through year 12, I can think of at least one potential student who's likely to progress to Oxbridge that's also European. So bearing in mind that European students are a relatively smaller group of students here at Abbey College, Cambridge, but growing, I think that's a very, very well represented group.
Great, thank you very much. So Laura, I hope that has helped. Okay, at the moment there are no further questions coming through. Oh, there we go. No, Laura's saying thank you.
Oh, no problem, Laura.
Okay, so if there's nothing else coming through, I'll say we will end today's session. Obviously, if you think of any questions afterwards, we are always happy to answer any questions that you've had. I know a number of you will all be in contact with your sort of in-country college representative. Please feel free always to direct questions via them, or if they do come directly into college as well, obviously we will answer them. So
absolutely,
that's all wonderful. Right, well, thank you very much, everybody. Please do enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And we hope to hear from you very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. We'll see you soon.